Okay, yeah. So my primary need was for digestive support. I just felt like everything stopped working from my stomach all the way down to my colon. So, and I wasn't able to eliminate, and but I knew that it had some emotional components to it. I was dealing with some things from my past, and um and therefore my nervous system needed support. So I just knew I was at a point in my life that I could not handle this on my own. I absolutely needed help to get me
Mm,
through this obstacle.
I hear you. Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Can you share with us? I know that you have already been seasoned using holistic solutions and remedies. Can you share us your journey with what you might have tried in the past and what
Hmm.
you might have done with herbs or different treatments or what have you?
I have done so many things, and I felt like I had no choice because the medical resources I was accessing, they weren't helping me in the past, and I was desperate. So in the past, I had a time period where I became very unstable physically and very dizzy all the time and imbalanced. And there was no doctor that was helping me or able to do anything for me. And I felt like my brain was actually swollen, but I actually sought out. Sought out some practitioners that helped me immensely. They primarily did iridology and herbs and worked with different energy resources, a Rife machine. I sought out one that did it, help me with an Osira machine. I've just worked with different practitioners through the years that did the frequency work, and that worked really well with me also. And I no longer had access to those practitioners, and I was on the search for someone, and then you came into my life. And so I was extremely grateful to meet you when I met you.
Mhm. I'm grateful too. You're a sweetie pie. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about you had some specific primary health concerns, and then we did the discovery chat together. And in the discovery chat, that's a moment where I'm able to discover and listen to your case, right? Your primary health concerns. I have the opportunity to share with you a little bit about myself and my approach. And also, if I even would like to take your case, right? I want to make sure that we are a good fit for each other.
Right.
And that, yeah, and that if there's things that I can suggest, will they help you with your case, right? So that was nice that we had that discovery chat together. Can you
Mhm.
remember anything specific during that discovery chat or even during your rebuild program with me that made this a unique experience compared to other different programs you might have been on or different paths in your wellness journey?
Well, I was really, um, I, I was, you checked all the boxes I was looking for.
Okay.
So I was looking for somebody who understood the the modalities that I had accessed in the past, and you have practiced all of them yourself. Um, and it's hard. It's a challenging to go to doctors who don't understand or respect the choices that I've made. And so here you understood them, and you implement them in your practice, and that was extremely refreshing to me. So the way that you approach the mind, body, spirit, the whole package. And I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, but one thing that I so appreciated about and still do about your approach is just teaching the frequencies of words and the positivity or negativity that we speak or project really does affect our health, and just the way you would rephrase or reframe some of my thoughts and expressions really helped me see the potential that I had to refocus how I had framed even the lens that I was seeing my life through. And so that has helped me so much. And I'm every day of my life now I think of you. I'm like, how would Temna rephrase this? Because even when I'm talking to friends or my family, they know that I'm trying to use more positive words and how that really does have an effect on my health,
Mhm.
my outlook.
I really appreciate you sharing that. That is a very, very profound point. Because yes, your words are, you are literally through your words telling your body how to think, how to react. And if there are negative words, then your body's going to have a negative reaction, right? And that actually can inhibit health. So words are very important. Changing perspectives, it could be the same situation, but when you change your perspective about it, it's not going to affect you mentally and emotionally the same, right? And you'll be able to move on, which is very important because we talked about how words influence again your body's organs. So, do you remember anything specific that with your primary health concerns that you remember if, for instance, the colon, right? That means that's a organ that holds the emotion of not being able to let things go, right? So that's something that's negative. Or your digestive system holding in resentment. So what you say, what you think, and how it influences all of those different organs and systems of the body, it's very, very important. So I think I'm so glad that you appreciated that point because it's major. It's 85% of your healing process, right? Mentally and emotionally in the
Hmm.
holistic way. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. Let's look at another question. So this is interesting. What specific changes did you have to make in order to improve your health?
Well, regarding diet, just just following the your suggestions about eating for your type. So following the blood type diet has been very interesting. And I've had at the beginning, I was like, I don't know about this, but I really do feel that I feel more energy. I definitely feel different following that diet. So the diet and also now using the AO scan to work with the frequency medicine and frequency therapy has been amazing too. So the diet with the AO scan, with the positive outlook, with um,
Supplements
just
and
your coaching and support and feeling like you're right there when I need you has been amazing. It's not like I'm all better, but now I have more tools, I have more knowledge, and moving forward, I feel like I'm on the right track. I've had actual days where I feel like my whole digestive system has purged. There's 3 times actually since now that I've done your program that I actually felt that amazing feeling where everything's working. And it is 2 steps forward, one step back, many days. It's not like it's just like whoo, everything's fantastic now. But in the healing process, that's the way it is. You walk 5 miles into a forest, you have to walk 5 miles back out.
Mhm.
So it's not an overnight
Yep, that's a very, very good
event.
illustration. And you touched on a couple of things that I wanted to ask you about too. The formula that I use is um, the AO scan frequency therapy using the AO scanner, and then your supplements and your diet, your exercise, right? Healthy living, water. So those are the things that we incorporate into your routine. Can you talk a little bit more about the AO scan? I know that was something completely new for you, which it is for a lot of people, but just the parts of the scan that you used during your program with me that were valuable to you. Maybe we could talk maybe about the scans themselves, or even using the frequencies. Like, how did you incorporate that in your health journey? That
Well,
tool.
I would start every morning by running a scan, and it would it would identify, emotionally or physically areas that were out of balance, and it has the frequencies to bring these areas into balance. And so emotionally, that has been a huge support. And one thing that I love about the scan is that I had all of these supplements from working with other practitioners over the years that I had just saved. I get these bottles and I take some, and then after that issue seems to be resolved, then of course I stopped taking it. So I had all these supplements. So this is just the AO scan is amazing because I've been able to program all of my supplements in, and it will scan me and tell me what I need that day. And now I'm actually using all of my investment. So
Mm,
that has been a fantastic tool. I've just been extremely tickled to have have access to something like that every single day.
yeah, it takes the guesswork out of the supplements and
Mhm.
saves you money in the interim, right?
Mhm.
Hundreds of dollars a month we spend on supplements, but when you have that scanner, it definitely cuts it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate that about it too. And then being able to monitor your health using the scan
Mhm.
is awesome, right? Listening to your tones, that frequency therapy or bioenergetic frequency medicine is fantastic, which covers the mental and emotional part of your well-being to help support your body in that way of healing. What about any specific challenges that you might want to chit chat about during your journey? We're all human. We've all had the challenges trying to get on track with our health, right?
Yeah. So, I was a little grumpy with the diet in the beginning because we were just dealing with in the framework of the blood type diet, the highly beneficial foods for my blood type seemed very limiting. And so, doing that and not understanding really the whys and of behind it all. But I've come around. So, following the diet, and I've lost 25 pounds, um,
Yeah.
and feel more energetic. That's really helped. And there were parts of the program that I know you tried to prepare me for, but then when it got to the second month, that was really intense. I just had going into that kind of took me by surprise. So anybody doing the rebuild program, I would recommend scheduling it for a time when the second month is is a time that you can put forth all of your energy towards it and not be distracted by like a vacation or a major event. So that would be something that I would, but it worked for me. I just didn't realize all of all that would be involved. I think
Yeah.
that second month, but was
Yeah.
grateful for how I felt afterwards. I definitely felt like my inflammation went away. Um, I just felt so much better afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. During that second month, who knows? All heck can break loose, right? And
Mhm.
everyone's so different
Yeah.
that however the body needs to purge, it will purge, right? And that's why it's so important. I encourage. That's why I do the 3 month program, because in that second month, that's usually when people decide to give up, because it's you need to understand that in that second month, the body naturally goes through detoxification. Detoxifying is not necessarily fun, but if you have someone like myself holding your hand through the process, then consistently, when you start to see some symptoms, I'll be able to help you. And that's what we did together, right? We kept in communication, and I was able to help you through the process and giving you tips on how to offset some of the different reactions that your body might be having, right? Because of the detox. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if I can kick in on that, I'd really like to just highlight some of what you did because that month is so much more intense and there's more detoxing, more juicing, and what I didn't realize is behind the scenes how much you were monitoring me through the AO scan, which then from your end, you could keep an eye on how my system was doing. And just the fact that you would call me even at random times during the weekend, and you'd be like, "Are you feeling okay? You're not, I think you need a little support, and you would tell me you better eat some protein or because your sugar is low or whatever. The way you would call me and it would just blow me away because I'm like, wow, she really is doing what she said she would do, meaning you would hold my hand through the process, especially that second month. You knew that you had to stick really close, and you did. You did. I had you, some days I needed you morning, noon, and night, and you were there. So, what doctor does that? It might seem, I've told some friends, I said, it might seem like a lot of money. But what doctor can you give this amount of money to who will be at your beck and call for 3 months, for 12 weeks? Like nobody does this.
Mhm.
So I really appreciated that you really stood behind what you said you would do from your
No.
end.
Well, I'm happy for you. You get me a little choked up and teary-eyed. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on in the back end, but that's what it's all about. It's concierge wellness, and I do it because I care about you and I want to make sure that you get your results, right? Because when we're done at the end of the 12 weeks, you're on your own, right? I'm still here for maintenance appointments, but I want to make sure that you are at your utmost, your optimal health potential, and then that's what I do. Look, you're getting me choked up and lost at words. But I'm very happy to do it, and I'm very happy for you. Um, so yeah, during that detox month, it's no joke, and there's different things that, again, each person is so different that might be suggested. It might mean some specific teas, or like you mentioned, juices. Might need some specific herbal remedies. It might even mean an enema or a colonic or a
Right.
lymphatic massage or reflexology, whatever it takes. There are so many, and that's one of the things that I want to highlight. If you don't mind sharing, there are so many natural options to help support and nourish and heal the body. It's really truly a blessing. Acupuncture, just on and on and on. There's so many different things that you can do to help heal the body through that detox month, right? Would you say so?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and accessing the I obviously I don't live in your area, so I couldn't come to you personally, but I did get some support here locally where I would get massages or reflexology that would help keep things moving through because as you taught me and I knew from the past, as we detox, it releases a lot of things into our system and we have to keep it moving through. So some of these other modalities will actually help that process, keep things circulating, keep things eliminating.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
So you just mentioned something that I want to talk about too. Temna's Rebuild program is not only Temna telling you what or sharing with you and suggesting for you what you need to do, right? It's also me holding your hand, but also it's a it's an educational time. It's a time for you to educate yourself,
Mhm.
to get to know your body, to get to know herbs and supplements, to just I always say knowledge is power, and knowledge is what leads to action.
Hmm.
And for instance, when you first started, you I shared with you, okay, Jennifer, it's time for you to get started. It's something as simple as changing your diet. We all knew it was going to, happen, right? It's just what you have to do in order to help your health.
Absolutely. Yeah. Obviously,
But then
we're doing
learning,
something wrong. We're doing something wrong, or we would feel great, right? I
there
knew
you
that
go.
changes would be in the making. Yeah.
Exactly. But then once you learned the why, like for instance, with your diet, the blood type diet, once you realized, oh, these foods are, or they cause inflammation in my body, doesn't it again help you to change your perspective on
Yeah.
those foods, and it helps you to
Yeah.
stick to the new routine, the new lifestyle change,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point to mention, so thank you for even sharing um, that point too. So let's look at, you're done the detox month, things are starting to turn around, you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then month three comes along, and that's the month when the body starts to rebuild itself. Can you share as you reflect on the entire process, like reflecting on where you were with your primary health concerns, and then going into that third month and even into the 11th and 12th week, where we go more into how to maintain your health? Can you share any reflections on where you were before you started the program, and then towards the end of the program, and then the tools that were given to you to be able to feel confident that you can maintain your transformation?
Well, things did start working better. Um, I think where I am right now, because I've been a couple weeks on the tail end, since I stopped the program. And of course, it's just natural to go back to what I was doing before, and now I'm developing the same symptoms. So I realize that each week, well, just to explain, each week in the rebuild program, you focused on a different body system or a different goal. And so, we would work on that intensely for a week, and you would give me all the resources to do that. And so now I realize that some of those areas that are more that need more support, now I know I need more of it. I need to go back, and I just need to eat that way and do those juices, and I'm not done yet. And so now, but I have all the information now. Now I can do that on my own. So
Yes,
that's where I'm at right now, is I'm kind of feel like I'm going a little bit backwards, but I know why. And so now I know what I need to do.
just a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that, do you feel that on the program, you also established a routine,
Mhm.
right? So establishing that routine that was doable in your life.
Yeah. Well, it was hard to get into a routine because I felt like there were things that you really emphasized, as far as, like, for example, the morning routine. Getting up at getting up earlier. For me, I'm not a morning person. Getting up consistently earlier, and doing certain things first thing in the morning that will really set my day. Those things were extremely valuable. As far as our different goals for each week, I was changing a lot through the program. Like, I would be like at the end of a week, like, okay, I can do this. I'm finally getting this down pat. And then I'd meet with you, and you would change it for the following week. And I'd be like, oh, here we go again. Now I have to get something else under my belt. So, that was. that was sometimes frustrating because I'd be like, finally wrapping my head around it, and I'd finally get to get all the groceries or get the things that I would need, and then you'd be like, "Ah, no, you don't have to do that this week." So, um,
Funny.
yeah, but as
Uh,
far as some of the healthy routines that have definitely stuck with me, and I'm still working on getting some of them as a habit because it hasn't been my go-to um, routine for myself, but healthier ways to take care of myself and understanding why I do certain things and the
mhm.
benefits of doing them differently.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So what you were talking about, just to clarify, so during month number one is the reset month. So it's a here's your routine. You got it down pat. Weeks 1 through 4, it's been consistent. Then again, month number two, that's when, because it's the detox month and your body just naturally starts to detoxify, and each system does start to do its kick in and do its detoxification process with each week. Things change. Yeah, juices change, your soups may
Right,
change, your
right.
routine has to change to support the system as it's adjusting and detoxifying. So yeah, that definitely was a challenge. But the beautiful thing, always perspective, is the fact that you did it. Because I expected you to throw in the towel. It's not the norm to do a lot of things that were suggested in month number two, but you did it and you understood the reason why you had to do it to support the body systems. But also, there was some serious toxins coming out of out of your body. Some serious toxins, right? In general, we all have toxins, parasites, bacteria, fungus, molds, vaccinations, heavy metals, all those toxins that our bodies put up with all the time. But
Mhm.
and there's some other serious toxins that are being processed out of the system. So I was happy that you stuck to it for your own health, but also very proud because you did. You held on and you stuck to it and you did a good job, and then the results show afterwards, and that's what it's all about. So I have to give you that high five. Good job. That
Thanks.
moment. That was a big achievement. And then the beautiful thing is, again, month number 3, because your body's rebuilding itself, um, week 11 and 12, teaching you how to maintain your gains, following the laws of healing, where it takes 3 months for your body to go through that reset, detox, rebuilding process. But then you add 1 month for each year that you've had the symptom. So it's so important during week 11 and 12 to get that routine down pat, because it is a lifestyle routine and it literally means helping your body to continue its rejuvenating process, right? And that's so important. um, I appreciate how you were saying once you're done the 3 months, you feel like, yay, I graduated. And then that's when we kind of tiptoe back to our old habits, because our brain looks at those old habits as that was fun or enjoyable or desired. But your gut, your body says, I now know what it feels like to feel better. And then whatever you put into your body with foods and things that are that cause inflammation, your body's going to let you know that these foods are not going to be good for you. And like you said, either you're going to follow the path that leads to health and optimal health and a better way health, lifestyle, healthy living, or you're going to go down the path of discomfort, pain, bloat, inflammation that leads to just disease, right? So
Mhm.
it's good that you revamped your perspective and you're right back on track. That's important. And let's see, anything final that you would like to say to anyone that is just suffering
Sorry
from,
about that.
oh, you're fine. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing the YouTube video.
Oh, actually, he was your support
Okay.
system too. That was awesome.
Was
Yeah, that's a good thing to mention. How did he help you? Your husband.
So, yeah, my husband has been a great support. Whatever I needed to do, he was right there. He was encouraging me. He really wanted me to do it. He wants me to feel better, and he's been
That's
he's
awesome.
been great. I've really appreciated that even though this was, I consider this an investment in my health. This wasn't inexpensive, but it's an investment in my health. And so he was very much encouraging me to do it because he knew I needed that kind of support.
That's
So
odd.
I
That's really
appreciate,
sweet.
I really
And actually
appreciate
now he's
that.
implementing some of the suggestions, so he's feeling better.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for both of you.
Absolutely.
So in closing, is there anything that you would like to share with others, encouraging them to just whatever you would like to share? Is there anything that you'd like to share for closing thoughts?
Mm, well, if anybody is like, I was trying to make some decisions as to how to proceed to get to access the help that I knew I needed. And one thing that you offered, and I could tell right away in our discovery chat, is that you had the whole package. You offered the real deal, and that it was your business, this was regimented, this was something that I felt like I needed your regimen. I needed I had weekly appointments with you where you would outline everything and then more if I needed it. And so I knew I needed that. It wasn't just you sent me a bunch of information and I was on my own. So I felt like it was everything that I needed, and emotionally. This is an emotional process because I'm dealing with life behind the scenes, and then detoxing can be very emotional. And so I needed you through that, and you were like my cheerleader. So I appreciated that, and I know that going into it that that's what I was hoping for, and you definitely did that. And so I really just want to thank you.
Well, you're so welcome. I'm glad I was the one to assist you. You're a sweetie pie. All right. Well, thank you, Jennifer. And I'm glad for you. Very excited for you. And